If you're in the market for a new PC controller with added features from the stock Xbox controller, stick around while we take a look at the PowerA Spectra controller. In hand, the controller feels good. The top has this matte and rubber finish that can add some extra grip for gaming. The back is a hard plastic similar to the original materials used in a standard Xbox controller. It's also durable, but I wouldn't go around chucking this controller while rage quitting. One thing I noticed after using this controller for a while is the layer of grease that builds up. It almost looks like I just ate some buffalo chicken wings, didn't wash my hands, and hopped in a sweaty lobby. I tried cleaning the controller, but to my failure, it looks like my hardcore gaming sessions is immortalized into the soft, matte shell. The buttons have a decent tactility to them, very similar to the stock Xbox controller, and the thumbsticks are buttery smooth. Now, any hardcore gamer is incomplete without their RGB, and this controller can deliver. With RGB lighting outlining the entire controller and each individual component, that's an automatic 1000 points in whatever game you're playing. A definite drawback though is that there are points in the controller where the lighting isn't fully lit or non-existent at all. Maybe bump that 1000 points to 500. The controller also comes with this braided cable measuring 3 meters. A cool little feature they added is this inline release portion that allows the cable to break away if it gets caught on something, or if someone tries to run through it thinking it's a finish line from how long it is. A definite drawback to this cable though is that you have to use this USB cable because there's a lock hinge built into the port. And only way to use another USB cable to this controller is to somehow cut that notch from that port. On the back is what separates this controller from the original Xbox controller. And I'd almost describe it as an entry-level SCUF or Elite controller. Turning it over, you are greeted with a few more buttons and controller locks. The controller locks have 3 settings that allow you to set a limit to where the trigger actuates. Having the locks inwards, and they are set to the stock trigger actuations. A click outwards and the actuation is just slightly limited, but having them set completely outward and your trigger finger is multiplied by 5. Look at the speed. One thing to consider with these trigger locks is that they don't work for all games. Games that require a specific degree of pressure, like acceleration in car games, you'd need to fully unlock the triggers. To set up the controller, hold the program button. The status light should start to blink. Then press the button you want to map. From there, the status light will start to strobe like a rave. Then select the input button on the back, and now your A is mapped to this button. You're all done. If you're in the market for a controller you can use with your PC or previous generation Xbox, this guy is definitely an option to consider. You get a controller that has added functionality from the stock Xbox controller, but you're not paying the $200 price tag of an Elite controller. I call that a win-win.